Okay, live now. Welcome to podcast or the True Crime Update. I don't know what the heck I'm doing anymore. A little easily distracted. Are you having a good Sunday? Sorry about the echo in here. I still have to move the speakers. I can't get up on a ladder to put them up. So, James Taylor, good evening. Elizabeth, I'm doing better. I'm not 100% yet. I have to go see my orthopedic surgeon. Well, he's a surgeon. He's also a doctor as well, orthopedic. So, I got to go see him, and then once he checks out to see if I did any damage to the rotator cuff, and then I'll know from there. You know, going to take time. Easily distracted. You're a Tom Brady fan. An interesting thing about that. So the last time Tim was here, we were these two guys came up to us, and first we thought they were pretty aggressive in the way that they came up and started talking to us. But they came up to us and they were like, "Yeah, man, we're Green Bay fans, man. We love Boston Red Sox." We're like, "These guys are trashed." But they started talking about Brady. Apparently, Brady beat the Green Bay Packers, so they're off to the Super Bowl. Debbie Gilligan, Will, how the heck are you? Hope you and the family are doing great. Hope you had a decent weekend. Deb, well, I screwed up my shoulder, so I'm not having exactly the best weekend. I did finally get some sleep last night, though, so that was good. The family is doing good. They're doing what they can. Gianna, it's in a sling right now, but I'll find out more on Wednesday when I go see the orthopedic doctor. Now, this guy's I joke around, but I really have had a lot of work done over the years. He's completely I got a 3/4 replacement of my left knee. I've had my right knee scoped twice and cleaned out. He did my right arm. He did my left arm. I had nerve replacement surgery in my left arm, in the forearm area. I'm like, yeah, see if you can hear me now. If I move the mic farther away. But yeah, I think I bought him a house, a car, a boat, something by now, if not all the above. There for a run of about 5 years. I was in there constantly, and we really did. We planned out the surgery on my two arms. I messed up my right arm and my shoulder originally. It was a work accident, and it just never healed right. So there was always like a popping noise or such sensation in the shoulder and in the elbow. I was working for a chemical company, and I fell down a manhole. The person had replaced the manhole cover in not correctly, so it wasn't on all the way, where it should be. So when I stepped on it, it flipped up, and I fell down the manhole. And there's these metal rings, like stairs, that are made out of rebar that you climb down when you're going down it. And I got caught, and I was hanging by my arm in the thing, and I couldn't touch the bottom. So that's how I hurt that. My left arm, I have nerve damage in my left arm from combat. So that one is he did. My hand eventually was curling. Oh, like this. I don't have any feeling in these three fingers or in the palm of my left hand. It's never going to get any better. But he's like, you're much too young to have so much muscle loss in that arm. So I had nerve replacement surgery in my left arm. It took nerves and muscle tissue from my backside. That'd be the best way to put it, right? My poor wife. She jokes that my warranty expired, and in the moment my warranty expired, that's when this shell of a body I have started to fall apart. To my arm, right card, I took a tumble about 4 feet and landed straight on the my shoulder and then side of my head. Messed it up pretty good. Sympathy pain. But yeah, my orthopedic doctor, he's pretty good. So far I have no complaints. I mean, for years and years and years, I had a lot of pain in my knees. But we put together a plan, and first was the my left knee. Did that first, then the right knee, and then a couple of years later, I had the left knee done again to clean it out. I'm getting older, and the joint is just not there. It's broken down from all the years of abuse and everything else that I put this body through. So I'm pretty lucky. Well, I broke my foot, but there wasn't anything they could do about that except for stay off it and let it heal. Do I need surgery, Nurse Beth? Won't know. I won't go see the orthopedic until Wednesday. Wednesday at I think 11 or 11:15. I'm not sure. I probably have to show up early to do the same thing as every other doctor's visit, fill out some forms. I'll have to take my daughter with me because my wife has to work, and my mother-in-law is going to sit with my son while she takes me. I can't exactly drive because, well, every vehicle we own is stick. So we have one car, it's an automatic, but I don't like that car and I don't drive it. My truck and my wife's car, they're stick. So can't drive, take my hand off the wheel to shift gears and then put my hand back on the wheel. That's not exactly safe. Gayla Denson, I will. And everyone. Yeah, I messed up my shoulder, Gayla. But I'll survive. I'm not too worried about it. You may want to take that Kevlar helmet out, my friend. Yeah. I haven't done any real damage to my noggin over the years. I mean, well, I am a head trauma survivor already, but that just kind of scrambled everything upstairs. But I get by. I make it work. Can't drive, can't walk. That's true. That is true. I definitely can't walk or drive. Certainly shouldn't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time either. Yeah. Probably fail at that. Oh, I totally get it, Kathy. I knew it was a joke. I found it as a joke. Oh, dang, keep your chin up. Be careful. I will. I know, I get it. Hey, DD Duncan. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah. So, I guess we should do some true crime updates. Not much, in the way of updates for cases that I've reported on in the past have changed. So I thought I would look into answering questions about cases that people have asked that are in the comments section of each and every one of the videos. So first, to start with, the last update I did on Scott Peterson, someone asked in the comment section, is he getting a new trial and could he be set free? No, he cannot be set free. They are doing a resentencing of him, and it's basically based off of the fact that the judge had excluded jurors who said that they were not in favor to the death penalty. So they're going to, I guess they moved it off to April. They're going to go through with the resentencing of him. Now he's been there, what, I gotta think here for a second, 15, 16 years now he's been incarcerated. So they'll probably give him life, so he'll have to do 25 plus, I don't know what the total sentence will be, but he ain't going anywhere. Next question was about a video I did about a boy, a 7-year-old boy who disappeared, Kyron Horman. And someone who faked being Kyron. He said that he was Kyron and that he had gotten away from some men in a hotel room and that his name was Kyron. And they put two and two together. Oh my God, this is the missing boy who's been missing since 2010. And, here he is. Well, it turns out it wasn't him. The question that was asked of me in the comment section was, is this the first time that someone has acted as Kyron Horman to either for money or for, to try to replace him or something like that? Unfortunately, no. It's the fourth time. Since Kyron disappeared June 4th, 2010, after going to a science fair, there have been 4 separate times where someone has come forward and said that either they were Kyron or that they knew exactly where Kyron was and led people to believe that they had information or they could solve the crime of the disappearance of Kyron. Unfortunately, again, this is the 4th time. All right, next one is about Nicole Kissinger. Nicole Kissinger and her name change. Now, Scott Reich over at Crime Talk has covered this as well and answered the question, but I got it in the live stream and I also got it in the comment section of the last video I did on her. Was she was going to have her name changed. Could it be possible that she changed her last name to her mother's maiden name? We don't know. Nobody knows. Not even Scott can get that answer because the case was pretty much sealed and it was handled behind closed doors. It wasn't held in the public record, an area where anybody can get access to it. So, and Scott, I think he's a little, being a little dramatic, hyper, or whatever, about it. I don't know if it's censorship, but they definitely did just, decide that, they're going to handle this case with, closed doors. But nobody knows. And those who are out there, and thank you again for posting the links. And just an FYI, if you post the links to anything, it doesn't even matter if it's one of my own videos. If you post a link in the comment section of any video, it automatically removes your comment and holds it in potentially inappropriate comments because I don't allow links from anybody. None of us are allowed to post links in the comment section. You might see it there after you post it, but as soon as the YouTube system catches up to it, it removes it and that entire comment. And then I have to go in and manually either delete it or ignore it. So, sorry. Okay, next one. So, yeah, just don't post links to anything in the comment section. I get enough people who spam the comment section the way it is now with links to hot girls at blah, blah, blah dress or, nude pictures of some celebrity or whatever. I don't know why they do it, but they do it. So just don't do it. All right, next one. Bill Cosby. There is a video. And I did a video, and this was in the comment section, that somebody told me there was a link to an attorney who posted it on Twitter that he was going to be filing a civil lawsuit for two victims of Bill Cosby's, and he believes that Bill Cosby and his wife have lied about and undervalued assets to the court. Because they basically, Bill Cosby's saying that he's broke. So even if his victims want to sue him, they can't come after him, his wife's estate or anybody else's money that he may have. That's what they said. Now I could not find the person who told me about it, and then when I found the actual video online, I can't see the date of when that video was posted, so I have no idea when it was posted. Was it posted last week, 8 months ago, 5 years ago? I don't know. I don't have a clue. But it did. Regardless when it was posted, I guess it really doesn't matter all that much. But if he lied about assets, maybe they can file a civil lawsuit. I mean, I think all of his victims should be able to sue him and take every damn dime he ever had. So, and I think that if him and his wife are married in California, I don't know if California is an equal property state or not. It would all depend upon where they're actually married at, if they can actually go after any assets that she may own. So that's pretty much it. For updates, again, slow week. I mean, I keep my eye on just about every case. I have a list that's on the whiteboard behind the camera here that you can't see on the wall, where every case that I've covered in the last year, I write down. And periodically throughout the week, I might go through and pick 2 or 3 of them, see if there's any updates, any changes, any news on the case. Especially when it's a slow period, or when I'm in between, like finding documentation for cases. So not much this week. I mean, we already covered last time, Lori Vallow and all the other cases that where there really was an update. So, anybody got any questions? Obviously, I can't move the comment section up and hold this at the same time. I have to set it down in order to grab the mouse because I only got one arm. And we just got these microphones, and we have a new PA system and lights in here. And this is the first time that we've used it. Well, besides like shooting the podcast, we did that yesterday. Shot the podcast, but yeah, I'm still getting used to this. I don't know how to hold it. Let's get ready to rumble. Joanne, thank you. I'll get better soon enough. Cosby is sick. Loved his show though. Yeah. Apparently they need a new spokesman for Jello pudding pops. Or just how about they start making the damn Jello pudding pops again? I freaking love those. I need to get caught up on the Lori Vallow case. Yeah. Well, that's something that you could spend a long time on, Gayla. There's a lot about that case. It's just, I don't know. I cover it as much as I can. Obviously, I can't do everything on it. Right card. Are you ready to rumble? I used to love that. They used to have every night here, at least on the west coast of the United States. They used to have Friday night fights on TBS boxing matches. These were, people who were basically the undercard. They weren't major talents, but they were on the undercard, and they would show them, Friday night fights. And they had that for the longest time, and Then it went off the air right about the time that that there was like a resurgence of the WWE and then cage fighting came in, and they stopped that, and then I can't remember. They had like one or two rebirths of it, and it's gone again. At least here in my area. I don't know if they took that off the air everywhere. Good morning, good evening, inner peace. I don't. Good morning. Have you heard anything new about Incident Briley case? No, I haven't. It's on the board. I mean, but I didn't find anything new, about that case at all. Hold on, I have to scroll up. Welcome to the stream, Dawn Marie. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Black Rose 11, welcome to the stream. Joanne, welcome to the stream. Hello, Sunshine. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great weekend. My thoughts on the Justin Rose Harris retrial. I don't know if I really can give it a complete opinion of that case. I've read some about it, but I have not read in depth about it. So sorry, it's not really much I can add to that. There's some serious questions that I have about it though, that I would like to research more. Good evening, Salty. Welcome to the stream. Red Rum. Welcome to the stream, Red Rum. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. S'mores smiling mama, hearing impaired. Not my verbiage there. Thanks for the welcome. Welcome to the stream, S'mores from Smiles. I hope you're having a great weekend. Jenny MCG, welcome. Can I ask you what your opinion regarding the two little boys missing? You're talking about the Wells, Orson Wells from California City, California. What's my opinion regarding the two little boys? Well, the obvious, one is I believe that the parents are involved. There are three things that really bother me about the case. The first one is if my son disappeared and the police told me to stay at home, there is not a chance in hell I would have stayed at home. Keep in contact with me. Here's my fucking cell phone number. I'm gonna go look for my son. And how can you lose two children at that? The next thing is there has never been a guaranteed, a verifiable sighting of the children there in that home. Never. Why? Not a neighbor, not a family member. Nobody saw them at that home. Why is that? Duty Ron did an excellent video. If you don't know who Duty Ron is, go check out his live stream. I think he did it. It was this past week, but he had the guy from the reporter from ABC5 on there with him, and he also had a couple other guests on the panel with him. another former New York City detective, and then his Charles Butt. I think he was former Secret Service, but he did a live stream. If you go to Duty Ron, all one word, DUTYRON, and go check out his live stream. He did an excellent live stream about it, but he can answer more about that. But the third thing so one, the problem I have is about first, right off the father didn't want to go look for the kid, or didn't just tell the cops to go F themselves and go look for the kids anyways. Could have kept the mom at the house, and then and it took turns or whatever, and then they go look for him, but whatever. That's the first problem I have. Second problem is there's no verifiable appearance of the kids at that house ever. And the third thing that bothers me about that case is not the Wade's interview that he did with media. It is the issue where he seemed to want to. It's like hey, go ahead. You speak first. Kind of like he was trying to control the narrative of the conversation that was being had at the end of his interview. I mean, I believe that they've been somewhat, cooperative. I haven't heard any reports about them not being cooperative. I know that, I see the headlines in the news. I haven't clicked on them and read them about, searches in another area. I guess maybe someone was arrested, or I don't know. Or that they were back for another search at the house today, or this past weekend. I mean, I see the headlines. I just haven't clicked on them and read them. But I hope that answers your question. My opinion of is basically those three issues. When things start off and they smell rotten from the start, I have a hard time believing the main people in the case from that point on. That's just my experience. That when something starts off wrong, I mean, fishy like that, it's like, nah, I don't buy it. Then again, maybe I'm too cynical at this point. Yes, Galen. Yeah. Duty Ron is a retired New York City police officer. I like his content. I've been a follower, subscriber to his channel. Well, pretty much since the first time somebody told me about it. That was back during the Christopher Watts case. Somebody told me about this new channel, called Duty Ron. And for the most part, I like what he's doing. I like the way he puts everything together. He obviously has a much better grasp of live streaming than I do. I can't figure out, and people like even Cece over on Coffee with Cece, who I absolutely adore. She has a better grasp of this StreamYard than I do. I keep on telling myself I'm going to figure out how to do this, like bring up articles and all that. I don't know how to do any of that at all. But I keep on telling myself I'm going to sit down and I'm going to learn how to do all this stuff. But I still haven't had that opportunity because I'm too busy doing something else. Working on another case or interviewing people or doing something. So. And it's something even my wife has sat down with the two of us sit here, on StreamYard and just trying to figure out the services. Now, I used to have, the full service, of StreamYard, but I'm back on the basic free one now. But when I was on the full service, I couldn't figure it out. And so I was like, I'm wasting my money here. What, I could put my logo on there. Yay. Great for that. I can do intros. Oh, okay, great. But Yeah, I can't figure out StreamYard. I have to sit down and and actually go through it. But he has a much better grasp of us, doing live streams than I do. But I like Duty Room. I like his channel. Did you say Uni Rock? Oh no, that guy's no bueno. V, I have no idea who Uni Rock is. Too many strangers on the ground. The other thing about the case out of California and the Orange boys, I mean the West boys, that are missing, is I can't believe that the police department allowed the neighbors and extended family of the parents and the extended family to stand outside of their home and harass them and scream at them for hours at a time in a residential neighborhood. Why didn't the police remove them? You know, I don't know. I don't understand that. Just can you imagine if they're not guilty and they really didn't do anything? And the police allowed them, the neighbors and family to scream, harassing things at them, like what shows the boys, produce the boys, or whatever the hell they may have been screaming at them. But for hours and hours, with no interruption from the police at all, they basically let a mob stand outside their home and scream at them. No, it's okay, Miss B. I don't. I just don't know who that is. Uh, Mob mentality. Yeah, they are out of line with the harassment. I agree. Yeah, 5 to 10 inches of snow tomorrow. Ooh, that's gonna be bad. It's been snowing here where I am. Uh, Probably about the last 3 hours or so. I don't know how much snow we got right now, but it's adding up, and it was coming down pretty good when I first came in here. Sat down to finish up the editing on our podcast episode, and so I've been in here. Oh, it's 5:30 now, almost. I've been in here in the studio since noon, so for about 5.5 hours I've been in here. Hello, never lose hope. Cat Jersey Shore. Hey, Will. Hope you're not in too much pain. Nope. I'm not feeling any pain right now. Cat Jersey Shore. I am. I would say I'm on cloud nine, but I'm doing okay. Not my verbiage. You got 4 inches yesterday. Out of the blue, my sister called me. I don't know. I'll never understand her. So she's like, and she didn't really have anything, that she wanted to talk about. It was more like, maybe just to make sure I'm still alive. I didn't hurt myself too much this time. Right, Cart? I would say that I'm high, but I'm definitely not in any pain right now. They can stand out on public land in front of any home. They can, but I've seen it. Ann Brown. I saw the news footage of this. Extended family members and friends of those extended family members. They weren't all out on the street. Most of them were in the front yard, and it's not a crime scene because it wasn't roped off or they're closed off, but they were in the front yard. What did you do? Did it, dude? What are you gonna? What they got? Yeah. Well, I don't have it here. Hold on a second. Oh, I have to set this down. Obviously. That's stupid hurricane. I had the paper in here, but I don't know what I did with it. Maybe it's inside the house. No, I don't see it on the table over there. Pain wise, it's Tylenol 3 with codeine or something in it. I can't remember. And then he gave me something, for also for what they call it. It's like a pain patch thing you put on it on the actual shoulder rotator cuff area where it hurts. That's in your hoodie, huh? Oh, this is what I wear when I go to the store. This is my version of a mask. It might be lidocaine. It's something with Tylenol. What was the issue? Rotator cuff? I don't know. I won't know Wednesday. I hate going to this place. Let me explain to you what this non-emergency care place is like. So you have to do a virtual appointment with the doctor on the computer. So it's virtual, obviously. All right. And that doctor doesn't even work at the place where you're going to end up going. It can be any doctor in this stupid network who is available to do a Zoom like virtual meeting with you over what happened or what the issue is. Okay. So that's the first part. Then you fill out online the basic information, your name, your address, your medical ID, like insurance information, and they won't let you in because of COVID. So you go there, and they have a little like podium out front, and they have a lady who's standing there, and she scans you, your temperature. So and she says, okay, you go back to your car and wait, and she hands you a number, and they take down your cell phone number, that you have with you, your cell phone number. So they text you once you're next in line, and then you come in, you give them your stupid number, and then you have to fill out the paperwork, the actual physical paperwork that medical history, what's your family history, what are you experiencing, on this scale of smiling and sad faces, where's your pain, how did it happen? Is this a work-related injury? Is it car or automotive related? I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I go back and I actually sit down in the room and I'm waiting. Can't have anybody else with you unless you need assistance to actually walk, and then they'll give you a wheelchair. And then you go in, you sit, and you wait. You don't get to sit in the lobby. You sit in the actual room where the doctor's going to come in and see you. If you're lucky, you get to see a doctor. Most of the time, you go to this place, you get to see a nurse practitioner. And I'm not talking ill about nurse practitioners. I'm just saying you don't normally get to see a doctor unless they are prescribing narcotics for you. If they're prescribing narcotics, which is not something that they normally do, they will refer you to another doctor, and that doctor will call it, narcotics or whatever for you. It's all part of the we don't want to give out opioids, thing to people, and I don't want them. Obviously I'm in pain. I take care of the pain. Do whatever you have to do. So the doctor or the nurse practitioner will come in. They'll take your temperature, put you on. You step up on a scale. They weigh you. They say how tall are you? If you're like me, you don't remember, because I never remember that. Sure, there might be people out there that remember. Oh, you know what? I'm 5'11", and I weigh 240, whatever. There might be people out there who might actually remember that, but I got better things to remember in my life than how much do I weigh and how tall am I? So they measure you, they weigh you, then you sit down, and then they're sitting in a computer across the room for you, wearing a gown and all the surgical stuff, gloves, mask, shield, and everything else. They put the information into the computer, they leave, and then if the nurse practitioner comes in or the doctor comes in, he may come in and ask you a couple of questions, do an exam, have you sit up on the table, and then 15 minutes later, you're gone. You're out the door. You're just a number. That's it. And I went there, and it was, yeah, okay. Well, I can't do much for you here. I'm going to have to give you a referral to an orthopedic. I'm like, I already have one. Okay, well, do you want us to see if we can book an appointment for you? I can do that myself. Okay, well, here's this and here's that. Here's this, wrap. Put this on. Here's a sling. Put that on. Try, you know, in your arm, but at the same time, use it a little. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ! And here's a whole printout, a book full of paperwork for you to take with you home. That's what my appointment was like. And every appointment I've ever had at this stupid place is the same way. Yeah, I might sound a little bitchy because I am. That's the way it is. And you're just a number. And that's what it is. They get people in, they get them out. Just keep it moving. Alpha Wolf. So I'm Latino. Okay. I'm not sure what that is in reference to. Lone Wolf. I mean Alpha Wolf. Audra, welcome to the stream. But my son in Arkansas has to tolerate tornadoes. Galen, when I was a little boy, I was convinced that tornadoes were, that all the trees, big. Okay, so I was just a little kid. I was probably 6 or 7, somewhere in there. But my uncle told me that all the trees in the neighborhood pointed at our house like an arrow, and so the tornado would know where to go. Hey, Chatterbox. How are you doing today? This channel shows up on my list. Okay. Well, I'm glad it shows up on your list of channels. I'm not that this has anything to do with anything at all, really. I just kind of always found it a little bit bizarre. But for the first year and a half that I was doing YouTube, YouTube used to send me suggestions all the time about taking part in Latino development. Doing creator. There's a whole entire channel and help area on YouTube where you can learn how to do YouTube and how to make your own channel and how to make it better. And everything from like studio lighting and sound and everything else. But they have Latino creator groups, in academies where they meet up in areas like Los Angeles and San Diego, Seattle, and then there are other ones that are not necessarily Latino driven, but they have creator academies, where they actually let you come to a YouTube studio and use their equipment. And if you get selected to do it, they'll give you like $10,000 worth of free shit, everything from cameras to lights to everything else. Pretty cool. But for like the first year and a half that I did this, they were always sending me, invites because they told me it was based on uh, the population and area where I live, and what the nationality is. I guess I don't know how they figured that out, but they did. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to put this in the stand because, well, and the stand doesn't hold it properly because it's not made for this size of microphone. There. Arm's getting tired just holding the stupid thing. It's not made for this microphone. I have to get the other one that goes on there. It actually will hold this size of microphone, but this one's definitely not made for this type. And like I said, this is only like really the second time I've ever used these mics. It's a learning experience. A learning experience. Oh. I don't know what the hell that was. There. That's what I wanted. I'm still here, ladies and gentlemen. I have not gone anywhere. You sound better? Well, thank you. I've put a lot of money into all this, equipment. What, Linda? You never? How did you guess? Yeah. Well, it's going to take some time to figure all this out. I mean, most of this arrived on Thursday. So, I mean, most of it, half of it's still in the box over here. But that is a better angle. Drama must remain on stage. Good evening. Sorry if I missed you earlier, but you looked cool, full one. No? Thank you. Well, I guess. You can't be a YouTuber until you work on your voice because you have cochlear implants. I don't know. Maybe it's worth doing anyways, and documenting your journey. You never know, because if you document your journey, you could be potentially helping somebody else out who's going through the same thing as you are. So maybe think about it that way. S'mores, smiles, and mama. Well, thank you, Drama. I didn't look cool when I hurt myself. That's for sure. Oh, Linda, I have probably 15 of them done right now. I'm only going to be releasing them in batches of probably 3 at a time, every Thursday, Friday. But yes, I'm going to be doing it, continuing the shorts. Well, I'm going to be doing the definitions, the short definitions, but after I got the 15 done. And then I'm going to keep on doing shorts, though. I don't know if it's actually helping or not. But it's kind of cool, to be able to offer short little, 1 minute, clips, that way. And I was thinking about doing it, and the shorts themselves could be like a promo for other videos that I'm doing. There's that as well. Well, s'mores smiles at mama. About the comment section, what you can do is just turn it off. Turn the comment section off completely so there is no comment section. And then you don't have to worry about it. They can't leave it if you turn it off. And that's an option where you can go right in to on YouTube when you upload the video itself. You scroll down and there's a little box there. You uncheck it so it the comment section is turned off on every video. And you can do the same thing for rating. For thumbs up or thumbs down or whatever, you can turn that off as well. Boop, boop. Look, and lower my chair. You're trying to join? Susie77, what are you trying to join, sweetheart? I'm glad you're here too. Join you? Join me? No, join. Are you trying to join the channel membership? Might be a YouTube glitch. Yesterday, I was on Mel Mel's channel, and I was watching one of her videos. And while I was actually watching her channel, it said she went from, she's got like just right around 2,000 subscribers. It went from 2,000 subscribers, and down in the corner where it shows the subscription count, while I was watching the video, it said that she had 14. She went from 2,000 to 14. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then about 20 minutes later, it went back. But for 20 minutes, she had no subscribers, basically. I'm like, how'd that happen? Will, I'm going to watch the Taco podcast on conspiracy theories after this. Oh, that's cool, Gayla. Thank you. It's an interesting one. We talked about lizard people, and think here for a second. Lizard people, Union gold, the Confederate soldiers who hid gold and supposedly they buried it, in different places. What else did we talk about? Oh, flat Earth. Well, I tried to, but my wife said I just did that to annoy her. She really finds people who believe in flat Earth to be really silly individuals. So, but it's just the Taco podcast. All it really is ever, and what it is right now is what it's going to be forever. It's just me and my wife sitting around and having a conversation. She might be from one side of the table or, on an issue, and I might be from the other side. But at the end of the day, it comes down to we always mutually respect each other's opinions and, thoughts on different subject matter. And so we just sit around and we talk about things. And it just happens to be that there's a camera and a microphone, there that is recording all of it. But that's all the Taco podcast really was ever meant to be, and that's all it's ever going to be, is exactly what it is today. just a couple of people with opinions that may differ on a lot of subjects matter and everything else, and but still mutually respecting each other and talking about it. They call them fluffers. LOL. My hubby would love the Union Gold. It's not flat Earth to me. Oh no, not flat Earth. The Confederate gold is real. Flat was there. Brandy James, welcome. Mike Stevens, if I didn't say hello to you, Mike, I'm sorry. Welcome to the stream tonight. Sorry. No one can prove it's not flat. Okay. I believe Lizzie Borden was innocent. Well, yeah, she was acquitted. She was acquitted of the murder. Found not guilty. Tacos. Need to catch up on yours. I've been crazy over this crazy world right now. Well, very well. That is Mike. That is one of the theories is of who actually committed the crimes. Was a series of handymen that her father had employed. Yes. Anna Brown, good evening. Eventually, hopefully this week, I had every intention of starting the other channel, but hold on a second. Stupid Velcro strap, it's catching the inside of my sweater. Well, hoodie. But I have another channel that I'm starting as well. It's called The Inebriated Truth. I've only got the promo on there right now, but I was going to do that this week. I already have 4 or 5 episodes for that channel already shot. I just have to finish editing them. So it's going to make it an interesting week because I have to, Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm the only one home all day. Well, my son has school Mondays and Tuesdays, but besides that, for that 2 hours he's at school, and I have a 4-year-old who is very rambunctious that I'm going to have to find a way to corral. There's nobody else here because my mother-in-law, my daughter, and everybody else works, on Mondays and Tuesdays. So Chris from the interview room just showed a brief phone convo he had with Barry Morphew. Oh, did he? Who's the other one other channel that I just started watching was it live from my sofa? Somebody told me about it a while ago, and I checked out a couple of his videos before. Didn't really understand right away what I was watching or the concept of it, but now I the more I watch, the more I understand what it's all about, what's going on. It's not personal. Could you share the story about the $100 bill you have framed behind you? James Taylor, it's not a $100 bill. It's a $1 million bill. This is from it's a letter and $1 million that I got from someone who is a fan and a subscriber of my content. And the letter reads, "Will, you blew my mind. I was watching the Savannah Spurlock video on 12/3, and to my amazement, at the end, you put my name with a message. You really choked me up. I was not expecting something like that. Thanks. Thank you. Since you won't cash my check, please accept the enclosed gift," and that's $1 million. So, well, I can't put that up there right now, but I'll figure it out in a minute here. But that is, I've, he's written me a couple of times, sent me letters in the mail and stuff like that. Well, once, this is the second time. Second time he's written me. But I was really touched by his story of wanting to support the channel, but what he's going through and everything else in his life, it just didn't feel right for me to, accept money from somebody who I know needs the money more than me. So I said, no, I'm not going to cash the check. I'll make you an honorary member anyways. And I did. So he's an honorary member, channel member of my channel. And stuff. The sofa guy? Yeah. Live from my sofa, is it? The name of the channel is? Will be Home Alone. LOL. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do. It's a very short list, isn't it? Yeah, I'll figure it out. I mean, my son's he's a little bit rambunctious, but he's a great kid. Reporting from my sofa. That's what it is. Well, okay, maybe I was thinking it was live for myself because I every time I catch him, he's always on a live. And I understand, when people say that they didn't get notifications of my live streams, I really understand that because I don't get notifications of anybody going live anymore except for his channel. That's the only channel that I get notifications of when they're going live. I don't get them for CC anymore, for Crime and Coffee with CC. I don't get them for Red Rum. I don't get them for Leave It to Beaver. I don't get them for anybody. Mel, no one. None of the channels I watch, just about every time they put any content out. I don't get any notifications at all, but that one channel. And I've checked my settings for each and every one of the channels. I went through and I actually unsubscribed and then resubscribed. And about half of the channels I'm a channel member of as well, if they have channel membership, and I still don't get any notifications of when they put up content for Patreon members or for channel membership. It's got to be something that YouTube is doing with their system right now. Like I said, like watching Mel and all her subscribers vanished, and then they came back, and I was like, what the hell's going on here? But they're doing something, and they're not going to tell us what it is. They never do. They'll tell us if it really crashes the system, and messes things up for, a long period of time, they might mention it just a little. You don't get mine either? Yeah. And I really understand that. And it's if I'm not getting them for the channels that I subscribe to and that I watch, I'm sure people are not getting the ones from mine. I had to unsub and then resub to all my channels. Yep. Well, that's exactly what I did. I had to go through and I can't unsubscribe and then resubscribe to every channel. Some of the channels they don't even make content anymore, and I don't know why I'm even a subscriber. It's like the creator themselves quit a long time ago. Penn Teller. The magician, Um, but he had a show that was called No Bullshit, and you can still find the content on YouTube, but YouTube they basically censored them. They're tired of them, and what they were doing. But he hasn't put out content on that channel in a long time. And then YouTube eventually shut the channel down, I think. But I do believe the videos are still out there on YouTube. PJ, lucky you, I had my grandkids this weekend. Only baked a tiny Piz cookie. What is that, Gayla? What is Piz cookie? Piz cookie? I don't know what that is. You can only pick one trial lawyer for a criminal defense. Who are you going to go with? F.E. Bailey or Benjamin Brafman? Benjamin Brafman? Bailey or Benjamin Brafman? If I had to pick one attorney, criminal defense attorney. Huh. Does it have to be a real defense attorney? And I mean, if I had my choice of all the people out there who have either played one on TV or been a real attorney in real life, I mean, if I take one from TV, I'd take Perry Mason. If I had to take one from real life, criminal defense, Dershowitz, I don't know. That'd be hard. But, F. Lee Bailey would be good. David Randolph for you. Google it, Will. Okay. I can do it later. Where's my pen? There's my pen. Okay. I'll look it up after this. A 5-inch cookie you bake in a round cast iron skillet. Ooh. It's a one piece of kitchen equipment, Gala, that nobody in my family is allowed to touch. My cast not allowed to. Little hands those cast iron pans. I don't know what's happening. All the lights flickered. Hit that one sister, LOL. Love your sisters from another mother. Matlock? Well, that Matlock would be cool if you want that southern charm. Yeah, I think he was better as Andy Griffin myself, but yeah, Matlock was good. Matlock solved the crime before the show was over with, didn't he? He always got it done. So many platforms have been what that went by really quickly. So many platforms have become publishers by editing content. More liable that way. Some are filing suits. Some platforms have become publishers. No. Yeah, that was weird. It's like all the lights in here flickered and everything else, and then I looked up and and my screen was black. I don't know what happened there. Power surge or something. I don't know. Ken Kratz is a prosecutor. I mean, I don't know much about his defense work. I mean, I know about one, obviously, but the Kardashians' dad, he was I guess apparently very popular and very good at what he did. I mean, he got OJ off, right? Seth Waxman. James Taylor, love your music. Okay, I went and in and out several times. Restart my phone. I will try to join membership next time you're live. Okay, Susie. Well, I appreciate it. If you do or don't, either way, I'd rather, as long as you keep on coming back and watching the content. Don't forget to give the thumbs up if you guys like the content. What do you think about Jodi Arias' case? I think she got what she got. Jodi Arias? What do I think about Jodi Arias? Besides that I don't like her. I got some choice words about her and what she did or may not have done, along with her family. It's been a while since I covered her case. I'd love to have him as my lawman. He's been to the Supreme Court and won three times. Seth Waxman. Huh. I didn't know he argued anything in front of the Supreme Court. I know the guy that's behind Legal Eagle. He's currently fighting a case in front of the California State Supreme Court. Kathy Drew, welcome back. Take a call. Sorry, I missed some of your live. Oh, it's all right, Kathy. Well, welcome back anyways. Aries is 5150. Yeah, that's the nicest way to put it, Gayla. 5150. I'm not familiar with Kathleen Zillner. Look at you, funny. LOL. Here it's 1310. Is it? You hate her to no end? I don't know with how the best way to describe Jodi Arias without offending other people. That shit insane. A master manipulator. That's probably the best way I could describe Jodi Arias. Bex, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Psych Ward 101. I'm going to say, Will, I was wrong about you. And I'm sorry. Got that sincerely. I don't know what you got wrong about me, Helen John. But, okay. Apology accepted, I guess. I didn't know that you had a misunderstanding about me. Now, this is me. You guys want to find out what I'm like. I mean, watch my podcast and me and my wife talking. This is really who I am. I'm about as down to earth as you can get. I don't have time for all the hyperbolic shit, or all that stuff out there. This is me. I'm going to live my life my way, and I'm going to be me. So many people on, especially, I really hate that. There's so many people on YouTube and on Facebook that they're fake, and they couldn't have an original thought if they had to. And unfortunately, that's true. Oh, I thought I was a right winger. Oh no, God no. No, no. If I'm anywhere at all, Helen Johns, I would put myself square in the middle. I don't toe party lines either left or right. I believe in I vote for who is I believe is going to do the best job possible. And when it comes to national politics, I don't follow it. I got better things to do with my time. So yeah, fake book, Reichart. You're right. Fake book. I refer every time I refer to Facebook, I always call it the dumpster fire of social media. There's there's so much on there I just absolutely deplore. And the worst part is I know, yeah, these are people I know. I personally know them, and they'll go out and they'll take a dinner, they'll have dinner someplace. They take a photo of it. Look what I'm eating, yay! And they'll do the same thing on Instagram, and everywhere else, And at the same time, I know what's going on with these people. I know they're unhappy. They're clinically depressed. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're clinically depressed, please, seek help. But it's not something you can just wish yourself out of. But they have the most unhappy lives. But if you look at their social media, my gosh, they look like they're having the best life possible. But when in reality, they're not. And I know people who are YouTube creators. They have channels where they are the most bubbly, charismatic individual on the earth, and they are so far from that. And I know them personally. I've met them, and I've known them for years. And these people are fake as hell. Because they don't live in that big house that they're always, at. Nope. Nope. They one in particular, a lady that has a YouTube channel. She does cosmetics and lifestyle review. The home that she is at is not even hers. She doesn't live there. She never spends the night there. She's not even allowed in there for more than an hour at a time. The house is for sale. Her sister is the real estate agent for that listing. And the house is got furniture in it because it's staged for sale. But people think that they see her on her channel, and she went there, and this is how they really did this. They brought 5 outfits with them to the home, and she put on 5 different outfits. So, and of her walking around the outside and inside the house and interacting, and like getting a bottle of water out of the refrigerator and stuff like that. And then she changed clothes, and then she did other things in the house, combing her hair, or whatever in her. We call it B footage. All right. So it's like filler footage in a video. So and then the rest of her videos are just her, looking at the camera, a talking head, and with a table and the makeup. But people think she lives in this big, luxury home and everything else. She lives in a 1-bedroom apartment. She drives an old Toyota pickup, and I think it's like a '79 Toyota pickup. It's blue, gray, and the hood on it is green. She barely makes a living, and she spends all of her money trying to be somebody she's not. She's fake. She's really fake. And in her spare time, she's online attacking other people and other creators because that's what builds up and makes her feel better about herself. I told her it's wrong,
But she's like, it's all a game. So this is me. I mean, I'm not the best at construction, but I think I did a damn good job putting all this together. I had to save a lot, I didn't make the money on YouTube doing this. God knows I didn't get the money from YouTube to buy all this and to build all this. Thanks, love. Some may say different, but they probably deserve it. I'll think, yeah. Give us the tea, Will. Yeah. Hurts when I turn my head too quickly that opposite direction there. I hate Facebook people that are fake their lives. Let's be real with each other. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking about this the other day on the live stream. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just turning off the camera for a minute. But all right, so I was talking about this the other day on a live stream. Not last year, but it was quite a few years ago. I went back to one of my class reunions, and I'm sitting there, and I don't know why I went. The people that I wanted to talk to or see, I was still in contact with after all these years after high school. So they were, and I knew about their lives. I knew where they've been, and I know their ups and downs and, and tribulations and everything else. But the people I didn't, keep in contact with over the years, if you looked at their social media, it looked like they were having, great. They had a good job. They had a happy life. Everything was positive for them. And then I went to the class reunion and I met them. And then I looked at their social media and I'm like, this doesn't match anything at all. Everything that's been on social media has all been a lie. I'm like, is this really what life is like? Do we have to be, a certain way, put on a persona for the world? I'm like, nah, I ain't going to do this shit. I'm going to be me. People either like me or they don't. But I'm not going to change because somebody doesn't like me. Specs, okay, detective work time, female, true crime, and makeup. No, there are quite a few channels that cross over, that do cosmetics, lifestyle, and true crime. Just go to YouTube, put in the search box true crime, and then on the upper left hand corner you can narrow it down by channel. You click on that little, I don't know what the hell you call that thing, and it's just above the corner on the left hand side of the box of screens. But you can narrow it down by channel, and then look at all the channels that are out there underneath true crime that come up with 1 million subscribers or more. And the channel I was just talking about is in there, where everything that she does is, well, it's fake. A Popeye emoji. So many frauds going on YouTube right now. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I got some guy from China. I'm in a fight with who used my son. So he would be my son's godfather, godparents. They used his music, and I'm the only one that has the rights to use it. So I think he's in Singapore or Taipei or something. But it matched YouTube matched it like their copyright match. But he's disputing it. He says it is his original music. I'm like, whatever. I watched the 24-hour feral cat live stream. No drama. There's not even kitty cat drama. I have 2 cats. I have drama in my house in her peas. I got one cat that just won't leave you alone. You feed him. He goes out the front door. You feed him, and he'll come right back around the back of the house and then come back inside. And it's like, hey, did you want to let me back out? Like, you go back out the same door you came in, but doesn't want to. I was bullied because I was tall in grade school. I'm sorry, Anna Brown. I'm sorry about that. No one deserves to be bullied ever. Didi, welcome to the stream. Sorry if I missed you before. I hope you're having a great weekend. Your cat's name is Butler? You feel like your cat's butler sometimes. Yeah. Well, I always joke with my wife that I don't own this home. My cats own this home. They just allow me to live here. You have 4 cats and 8 dogs and 1 parrot? Wow. I got 2 cats, 3 dogs, and that's it right now. We are done with having pets. After these pets, that's it for us. Because we want to travel more. Once all this COVID crap is over with, we want to travel more, and we want to travel as a family. There's some trips that my family would like to take with me, because normally we take vacations separately. Because I like to travel the United States, and my wife and my mother-in-law and my daughter and them, they all like to travel outside the United States. You love your babies. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Somebody was trying to come into my studio just now. I don't know who, but the door is locked. And there's a sign above the door that says recording. I don't know who it was. Might have been my wife. Don't know. A jar of coins. I'm giving that away eventually. Nobody's guessed the correct answer on the first item I ever gave away. And no, it wasn't a jar of coins. But good guess, faithful one. My buddy got 2 hamsters for the kids, and after a week it became mine. Not because I wanted to, growing to love them though. I had a friend who did that to me once. For my birthday, she was helping rescue these mice or gerbils or whatever the hell they were, and she was told that there were 2 gerbils in the aquarium, and there was about 5 inches of shavings in there. And then there's a little house in there, and then a wheel for them to run on them. They were hamsters. And she said, "Can you take them?" I said, "Sure, I guess." Right. And I brought them home, and I set the aquarium up on the I think it was a shelf. And I came back about an hour later, and I saw there were 7 in there. They were all just hiding down inside the shavings. but I named them lunch, dinner, appetizer, snack, hors d'oeuvre, so like that, because I had 4 cats at the time. I'm like, well, obviously they can't all live in this little aquarium, but it's like just trying to keep my cats from getting them was enough. Who did he say? If I could only pick one lawyer, who would I pick? Dead or alive? I don't know. For a criminal defense attorney, I don't know. Never really given it much thought, but if I had to pick an attorney, dead or alive, I probably would go if money was no option. I'd go with Johnny Cochran. He was a pretty good attorney, at least high profile cases that he handled. He did a damn good job. So, Perry Mason, if I was picking fictional or real, I'd go with Perry Mason from TV. I used to love that Perry Mason. When I was a little kid, I'd go to school and I'd come home. Maybe this is just something my mom did, but my mom's crazy anyways. But I'd go to school, and when I came home, my mom used to put the TV tray in front of the couch, and she'd bring me a plate of saltine crackers with butter on them, and that was my snack. And I'd sit and watch Perry Mason, and then I'd watch Rampart and SWAT TV show, 3 TV shows, and that was it. And then the TV went off, and I didn't get any more TV the rest of the day. Saltine crackers with butter. Is that the Simpson lawyer? Because that's the one I picked. Yeah, Johnny Cochran. Yeah, he was part of the OJ Dream Team. Did I watch Dark Shadow? Helen John? No, I've never watched Dark Shadow, the first version or the reboot. But interesting thing about Dark Shadow is that's one of my buddy Tim. That's one of his favorite shows from when he was younger that he remembers, and that's come up in conversation a couple of times. We've been talking about TV shows that we liked when we were kids, and that he always remembered, and that he was very fond of. Chips. I met Eric Estrada. I mean, I didn't get to talk to him. I was in the same room with him I want to say 2009. It was at a convention. He was one of the guest speakers there, and afterwards he was doing signing pictures and stuff like that. But I never really watched Chips when I was younger. I mean, I watched it here and there, but I preferred more of like MASH, detective stories, like Murder She Wrote, Matlock, stuff like that. I mean, I've always been interested in like crime dramas like that. I asked him if he remembers the vampire's name from Brombus Collins. His name was Brombus Collins. So ask Tim. Helen Johns. I'd ask Tim what? Bailey was the lead on the OJ trial. I used to think cats were evil because my oldest sister used to tell me that cats were evil when I was a child. I'm sorry, Frank Hart. Columbo. Yeah, I liked. I would watch like Columbo, Rockford Files, and Starsky and Hutch, um, NYPD Blue, um, Chicago. Then when I got older, obviously I got into, I watched. We have just about every, like one of the box DVD sets of Law and Order SVU. And it's been a long time since I've watched any, but my wife still collects them, keeps up on, SVU, and I don't think she's ever got into the LA one. And there was another one too that had Ricky Schroeder on it. I mean, obviously, he was on Silver Spoons, but he was a detective in New York. Barney Fife. And Barney Fife, but I watch Barney's Miller. I watch that every once in a while on YouTube, because you can catch all of them, like the whole episode. You can find it on YouTube. Barney Miller. Old school Law and Order growing up. Will is the best when he's free associates. He has never failed us. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Jerry Orbach. Orbach was on Law and Order. Was he on regular Law and Order, or was he on SVU? FBI on Sunday nights. Ontario's a stone throw away. Leah. Columbo. And but I watched later on that Monk. Watched a lot of Monk when Monk was on TV. Larry King. And Larry King just died. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm even worse about that. I mean, I'm sorry that he just passed, and for everybody out there who was a fan of his. But I mentioned this on the live stream the other day. I didn't know he was still alive. I really did think that that he died some time ago. Hill Street Blues. Yeah. And I watched some Hill Street Blues. Was never really, big fan of it, but I definitely watched it. I seen yesterday Barney died. Barney, like Barney the Purple Dinosaur. Jerry Orbach was Lenny Briscoe on the original Law and Order. Yeah, so that's right. He was one of the detectives on the original Law and Order. He wasn't on SVU. A lot of those shows, people have come and gone from. I mean, I get back in the '80s, though. I also watched Miami Vice. But I've always been interested, in true crime. I mean, I think back the some of the first books that I ever read, like the Hardy Boys, and Nancy Drew. I've always been interested in true crime, in one fashion or another. Say hello to James Taylor, one of your favorite artists. Oh yeah, well, I think we all are to some extent, aren't we? Talking about TV shows that we used to watch, we were chilling. And when I was younger, I used to watch like just those three programs, during the weekday when they were on, and then the TV went off, and we didn't get TV, the rest of the day, or the weekend. We were out playing, running around, doing things, living our lives, but we didn't get to watch TV. And it was always the same thing. My dad would come home from work, and he was kind of like Mr. Rogers, to some extent. He'd come in, he didn't put on a cardigan, but he'd come in, he'd take off his work, boots, and then he'd put on his slippers, and he'd go to the living room, and us kids would all line up, sitting on the floor waiting for Dad to finish his cup of coffee, or he'd have a cup of coffee, and he smoked Winston's cigarettes, and he'd have a cigarette, and maybe he'd eat some hot peppers out of a jar, but then after, and he'd put on Frank Sinatra on the hi-fi, or something from one of the Rat Pack. He'd listen to that, and then after he was done with a song or two, and he'd relax after he came home. Then we'd all go in, and say hi to our Dad, and how was Dad, and how was his day, and everything else. But we always did the same thing. Unfortunately, he died when I was 10. But in that short period of time that I had him in my life with me, he instilled the morals and ethics that I have to this day, that I am passing on to my son. Just wish you would have been here to see him, to meet my son. But I know he's watching over me today. Wish he would have stopped me from falling the other day. That would have been nice. How memories are great. Yeah. Hey, Will, try to spam the question, but I know you have a hard time scrolling. I'm really curious to know your position on death penalty is. My view on the death penalty. Well, that's kind of a double-edged sword. First off, I have to give you the statistical information about the death penalty for order to even start to answer the question about the death penalty. Statistically, every single state in the United States that has the death penalty, it has never been. They always talk it up as a deterrent to crime. It has never once lowered the crime rate in any state that has ever had the death penalty and actively used the death penalty. Never, not once. The FBI has kept statistical information on the death penalty since it started, in its reintroduction in '76, right? But it's never been a deterrent for crime. But they always preach about, the death penalty is a deterrent for crime. Well, it isn't. Now, the next part, how do I view the death penalty? Am I pro death penalty, or am I against it? I'm against it on the federal level. I don't think the federal government has any right to install or use the death penalty. I think that borderlines on some really serious issues and constitutional issues when it comes to the federal government doing and committing, the ultimate act of taking someone's life. State level, I can't say that I'm against it, because there's people like Christopher Watts who I would throw the freaking trigger tomorrow on and shoot him by firing squad, or I'd flip that switch to have his ass electrocuted for what he did. But then again, at the same time, I'm torn because my religious beliefs, that I don't believe that anybody should have the right to take someone else's life. That life is sacred. So and it's not the best answer, but I'm kind of torn there on that aspect. I wouldn't say I'm against it. I wouldn't say I'm for it. I mean, I would love to. If they called me up tomorrow and they said, "Hey, will you be the executioner for Christopher Watts?" I'd get on a damn plane tomorrow to fly to Wisconsin to execute his ass. I would, but at the same time, I'd be torn about what I'm actually doing. So. Oh, Gloria, it hurts. I'll find out Wednesday just how much damage I did to it, or hopefully, maybe it's just a deep bone bruise or whatever. That's what I'm hoping for. But I go see the orthopedic. He's made my orthopedist, plural, or whatever, for years. He's done both of my knees and both of my arms, and well. If I have to have surgery on it, or if it's a rotator cuff tear or whatever it is, I'll find out Wednesday. Fell about, I'd say about 4 feet. Landed right on my shoulder. I will. Helen Johns, I posted to the community tab here on YouTube. I'll definitely update everybody, because I know a lot of people are worried, and I really appreciate that. And I understand people are worried about how it's going. But I definitely will. I will definitely tell everybody, keep everybody up. Human psychology. To only worry about consequences after they're caught, in my opinion. That's why I agree. It will never serve as a deterrent. Yeah, it's true. And that's the one thing that's always surprised me. And every time I see someone who's running for political office and they want to talk about how they're going to get tough on crime, I just shake my head and my eyes roll in my head, because they always do the same thing. They want to lengthen the sentences for crimes, and and disproportionately, like it or not, when from the time we decided to crack down on crime and make longer sentences, and we came up with the 3 strikes you're out policies and laws and stuff then that we put on the books, it disproportionately hurt those who were poor and of color a lot more than anybody else. Disproportionately. Department of Justice has the FBI has tracked this information for years, since Reagan. Low-level crimes. I mean, there are people who do 30 years in prison for marijuana. For distribution of marijuana. Is really 30 years in prison for that? But the guy who raped your grandmother and then stole, the few gold jewelry, pieces of items that she had, because that, she lived a modest life. And, and then sold that for some, for PCP or whatever. All right. That guy can get 7 years in prison. He gets 7 years, but, Hector down on the corner, or, Bob, whoever, sells marijuana, he gets 30 years. It's wrong. And then they go, well, if he wouldn't have been selling drugs, he never would have gotten the 30-year sentence. Well, yeah, maybe if you guys had a better education system and spent some money in poor, economically depressed areas of the United States, instead of just doing lip service and promising things you're never going to go follow through with, maybe he would have had a better life. Maybe he would have had more of an opportunity. But I agree. Reagan basically made a pipeline, the kids in the ghetto to the kids in prison, with his war on drugs. If you want to read a really good book, read The Cocaine Cowboys, and about the cocaine kids. It is an excellent book. Wasn't it under Clinton that the 3 strikes you're out was imposed? I'm not entirely sure, Helen. It very well may have been Clinton, but I'm not saying it's one political party over another. It's maybe they had good intentions when they came up with the policies they did. It's the implementation of the policies. I mean, when they came up with 3 strikes you out, I highly doubt they really thought that they would be using the 3 strikes out policy against low-level crimes and not, violent criminals. We want to lock the violent criminal up. We want to lock away the Hell's Angel, who just, decided to kill. I'm not picking on the Hell's Angels, but who just decided that he needed to kill 2 other rival, motorcycle gang members. That's who we want to use the 3 strikes you're out policy against. Not the guy, not the kid who, 17 years old, who's just trying to get by, put a little bit of food in his mouth and get a little respect within his neighborhood. But at the same time, decided that, that selling a little weed here and there, was the way to go. There's a lot of reason. There's a reason behind everything that everybody does. Nobody is ever not influenced by their environment and what they do. And I know people they're mentally ill, and they've committed crimes because their medical issues were never taken care of. Sad as hell. And they've been in and out, bounced in and out of jail one way or another. And in a lot of cases, they actually commit crimes to actually go to jail, because at least in jail, they'll get their medication. They'll, get food. They'll get a place to sleep. It's better than them being out in the street. And it's sad, because we got rid of so many of the places, that, these people used to go to. They used to be at. Murders are getting 8 years or less. Yeah. Our rages war on their own people. Have a war on poverty if you want to see a decline in narcotic use. That's a damn good start, James Taylor. It's a damn good start. Start with, a war on poverty. Me and my wife were looking into this. We were going to do an episode on our podcast about it. About the Appalachians and the how they have been lied to for so long, and they believed that one person or another was going to save them, in their communities, and it's all been lip service over and over and over again. And the poverty levels that are there, it's just, in some areas, are just wow. So we're talking like 4 generations of people who live below the poverty level. How do you raise your kids in an area, or an environment where their only chance to get out of poverty is basically winning the lottery, because very few ever do make it out. I forgot country, but they discriminate all drugs, and utilizations have dropped dramatically. Yeah, I'm not a big favor of legalization of all narcotics. I mean, I totally believe that marijuana shouldn't be, marijuana should not be criminalized to the point of other drugs. It was a racist policy and laws that were passed to directly hurt a certain demographic of the United States. It was, but if it you want to smoke weed on your own time, you don't want to hurt anybody else. I don't think there's that and you're an adult. You should be an adult. I don't think kids should be smoking, especially those under the age of 21, because their brains haven't developed yet. But yeah, I know, like in Oregon, I think they legalized just about everything there. In Seattle, they're not even arresting people for certain drug crimes anymore. I'd hate to live in Seattle, though. I would hate to be there. I feel sorry for any of my brothers and sisters out there who are still in law enforcement in Seattle, or any of these major metropolitan areas where people have been calling for, defund the police. I really feel sorry for any of my brothers and sisters out there who are still trying to to do the honorable thing, to protect their communities, because it's going to get real hard here real soon. Absolutely are in our favor of marijuana being legal past the age of 25. I was never my views on marijuana. I've never smoked marijuana. I was never somebody who took it in marijuana and thought that this is great. But my views totally changed when my wife got breast cancer, and we had 2 options. Okay. The options A was spend $1,300 a month on one medication that would deal with the nausea and the vertigo and other medical conditions that came on from the the chemotherapy. She couldn't eat, she couldn't drink water, she couldn't do. She was slowly dying. I mean, and her weight loss was dramatic and fast, and nothing worked. So $1,300 for this medication, and then we can talk about how when it comes to pharmaceuticals, how the entire system is stacked against us. But either that, or she could take a puff of marijuana, and that would give her some type of appetite and help her keep have the ability to be able to eat, to be able to survive to another day, so they could poison her again. And until you've lived through something like that, or watch somebody deal with that severe of nausea, you just won't understand it. And then we looked around at the same time when all this was happening, and I said, our state law forbids you from being able to smoke a little weed that's going to save your life, or you can pay $1,300 for a medication that it helps, but it doesn't help as much as this does. Because medical marijuana, even at that time in our state, was illegal unless it was prescribed by a doctor, and then you had to get pre-rolled medical marijuana joints from the pharmacy. That was a state law at the time when my wife was going through her cancer treatment. Made me look at marijuana in a whole new light. It'll make you change your views in a heartbeat. Yep, that is absolutely true, Helen Johns. If it wasn't for the chemotherapy and her going through the breast cancer treatment and everything else, and it restarting her system, if it wasn't for that, we never would have our son. We were never supposed to have another child. The doctors told us, after our daughter was born, the chances were very slim that she'd ever be able to get pregnant and have another child, let alone be able to carry a child full term. And that's what they told us. And I think I told the story about she was supposed to have a hysterectomy, and we went in. They said she have a fever. We can't do it. You can't go under anesthesia for have this procedure done because you have a fever. Come back or go back again, and then they do the blood work and everything beforehand, and it comes back. The fever's gone, but we can't do the hysterectomy now because you're pregnant. 22 years. Well, no, 8. My daughter and my son are 18 years. In 4 months. 18 years and 4 months apart. And there's a couple of days in there, but God looked upon me and said, you have enough energy, strength, and love in your heart. I truly believe that, to be here to take care of another child. And, I'm blessed. I'm thankful for it every day because, he's a little miracle baby. Every night my wife comes in the front door from work and she says, "Where is my tiny man?" I'm like, "He's not tiny anymore." I tell it, he's not tiny. He's little. He's a little man. Of course, he's half as tall as her. He's only 4 years old. She's not that small, but he's tall. He's a tall, lanky little guy. Have to be your own advocate. That was my experience. Well, they told me I couldn't get pregnant and went through years of disappointments and finally had a baby girl. She's your angel. That's cool. I'm happy for you, Light Feather. I got a friend of mine. Him and his wife they've tried for years and years and years to have a child, and the doctors told them, "You're never going to have another. You're not going to have you're not going to be able to get pregnant." They tested his. Excuse me. Sorry about that. They tested his sperm count and everything else, and they tested her. They went through all of it. They went through in vitro fertilization. They tried it all, and nothing worked. It just didn't. It was just one disappointment after another. So they adopted a little boy who has Down syndrome, and they were happy with life. And then I think it was 8 years later, they got pregnant, and it just happened. They weren't expecting it. They were told it was never going to happen, and then they had 8 years after they adopted the little boy, then they got pregnant again. So now they got 3. So miracle story, the blessing baby for you, you're loving your wife. Happy days ahead and some best wishes. Oh, thank you, Missy Q. A lot of heartaches. Yeah. Queen C, well, welcome. My son is a rainbow baby. Lost his brother in April 2013. The same year, October 2013, a rainbow. July 24th, their ages are a year and 4 months apart. Year and 4 or 5 months apart. I hope you're having a good weekend, Queen C. And Kimberly, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I bought pot for the first time when my mom was dying of breast cancer. Sadly, she was too sick by that point. So happy your wife won, that you were able to get what you needed. And we're not out of the woods yet. The type of cancer my wife had is metaplastic carcinoma, and it's 1 in 4 million or 5 million women under the age of 40 ever get it, or something like that. The statistical odds are just almost impossible. Almost never shows up in women in her age group, and so for the next, I think, 5 years, we still have to be on high alert. She still has to go back for periodic checkups, because if it does come back, it's going to come back either uterine, or it's going to show back up again in her lymph nodes. But cross our fingers, knock on wood. But we're so far so good. It's raining there. You got pregnant October 13th after losing the first in April, is what I meant. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about your mom, though, Kimberly. Sorry. Cancer sucks. Yep. Will her cancer stay gone? We don't know. And then to tell you just how, not only just I'm probably getting the statistical odds, of wrong, but I know I'm pretty close. It's like 1 in 4 million or something like that. Women, ever get this type of cancer under the age of 40. Her oncologist actually came out of retirement to take her case on. And this guy is like the head oncologist, on the West Coast of the United States. This man, people know him and they respect him, and this is something that makes a career that he thought he would never see in his lifetime. And after 30, 40 years or however long he had been in practice, he never saw one ever at any age, any woman at any age. And he came out, and my wife's cases actually studied around the world at different oncologists know it. They don't know her name because it has an ID tag to it, but they have actually studied her case, and it's the most bizarre thing. It just one of those things in this world that happened. But no, thank you, Light Feather. You knew at age 10 you'd never have children, so you took on the life of the four-legged children, fur babies. So we call them here. All of our cats and dogs are members of our family. We call them our fur babies. You have 8 dogs and 4 cats and 1 parrot. I've never had a parrot. I've had Amazon poisonous dart frogs. I've had lizards, geckos, but I've had fish, cats, dogs, hamsters, plural, multiple. My wife's had rats, like an actual pet rat, an albino. It was called Turret, but that was before I even knew who she was. So my wife was, she was good friends with my sister, my youngest sister growing up. I didn't know who she was. Good health is definitely worth more than $1 trillion. You rescued all your cats and dogs, Anna Brown. That's cool. Good for you. Me and my wife used to work with we not work. I say that because it is a lot of work. But we volunteered with our ASPCA for quite a few years. But we mainly took care of the cats there, and we'd walk dogs as they needed someone to walk dogs. But we left over a dispute over how they were going to allocate money medical wise for cats and for dogs. They wanted to spend it more on dogs than cats, and it was a big turmoil. And a lot of us got up and quit. So now we volunteer with another no-kill shelter that's much smaller, but he does work with all animals, horses, you name it, alpacas, that are in needed rescue because they're being abused, neglected, or whatever. Dogs, cats, but he takes care of everything. Love my orange rescue cat, my BFF. I had an orange tabby. His name was Apollo. I rescued him. The family, brought him to me, and they said, "Can you feed him? Or take him to the vet? Because we can't get the cat to eat." It was just a kid, and I had said, I found out what they were feeding the kid: table scraps, not even cat food. So I took this thing to the vet. It was so weak, I had to give everything to him through like a medicine dropper, eyedropper, into his mouth, just to get him, so he could survive. And I just called him up and I said, you know what? I'm not sending this cat back to them so they can abuse this cat anymore. So I just called him up and I said, yeah, he died. Sorry. And then I had him for the next 13 years. I missed my Apollo. Died in my arms. Came home one night, found him. He was having a seizure in the kitchen floor. I picked him up and I held him in my arms, and he passed away in my arms. Loved that cat. You had an orange cat named Tabby. That's cool. Anna Brown, I'm retiring in March so I can help more with rescues. That's cool. I'd love to do that. I do as much as I can right now, which, it only consists of maybe, twice a month, but I try to do as much as I can. Then, when I can't be there, I try to help, by gathering funds to buy kitten food and dog, puppy food. Because the no-kill shelter that we work with is called Mikey's Place. But Mikey's Place, they don't get a lot of kitten food and puppy food. A lot of people will buy, a lot more adult food, for cats and for dogs. But we, go buy them bag or two of, food. Either that or just, get a money order and drop off a money order to help them pay their, electricity. Because it's really hard. There's never enough funding to go around. You can't believe Tom Brady is going back to the Super Bowl. Looks like it's going to be the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Oh yeah, I forgot the Chiefs played tonight too, didn't I? I had an orange rescue named Dino, lived to be 22. Now I have an orange kitten named Stump, and he's a hazard. Can't believe Tom Brady though. Tom Brady he wouldn't have had the year that he had if it wasn't for Mike Evans. Mike Evans, his star receiver, and Buffalo Bills just lost. So Tampa Bay versus Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Well, that sucks. So it's going to be Tom Brady versus Mahomes in the Super Bowl. They need the money. Yeah, they definitely do need the money like feather. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you again for listening to me babble on for forever. I hope you all have a terrific week ahead, and stay safe out there. If it's cold in your area, I hope that you're able to stay warm. But in the meantime, everyone, again, thank you again. And we'll have a great weekend. Hope your arm gets better. I'll hope, and I'll update in the community tab after Wednesday after I see the orthopedist after I see him on Wednesday. So have a good night, everyone. Bye.